Hi gang, you may remember this previous video where we talked about U-Drone, the ultimate mind-controlled drone, and we pointed out at that time they had been suspended by Kickstarter and they were threatening that they were going to go to Indiegogo, and in fact did exactly that. And here's the interesting thing that we have to remind everybody about, and you're going to see it right there underneath the totals raised so far of that $10,000 goal, flexible goal. Now, what does flexible goal mean for those of you that don't know already? The campaign will receive all funds raised even if it does not reach its funding goal. That is a big, huge, honking red flag that you should all pay attention to. If they're going to get the money anyway, and they're talking about something that is so technologically advanced as this drone controlled by your mind, how in the world are they ever going to be able to produce it, even if they hit $10,000? And of course, if they only get a fraction of that, how in the world are they ever going to hit it anyway? Well, you figure it out. I know that I keep harping on the laws of thermodynamics, but there are other physical laws that are just as important and just as impossible to get around. That's what they are trying to do, and what they continue to try to do with Rito, the first projection watch, and certainly not the last one, as we'll see later in this video. But let's see what they are trying to bring to market, or at least what they claim they can. Now, that was an exciting video, and in fact, it's a video, and all of these subsequent still images that I'm showing you were there to do exactly one very important thing from the campaigner's viewpoint: to get you to part with your money for this wonderful product that so obviously was designed with young people only in mind. Older folks, like me, for instance, need not apply, but they also did something that if those people had anything on the ball and could see the entire image for what it was, they would have realized it. Every single one of those images that showed this thing functioning, well, first of all, of course, it's CGI, but the other thing was, the images that they were showing could not really exist, and in fact, never would exist. Let me show you why. Light, as you were probably taught in school but may have forgotten, tends to travel in a straight line and will continue to do so unless it's obstructed by something, like a tree or a hill or a valley. That's why hills and valleys at dawn are in such a deep shadow, and there's a real dramatic effect if you're at the Grand Canyon looking at it when the dawn comes up. And when you think about what they're trying to do, a side projection onto something that has the equivalent of hills and valleys, like your arm, forearm, hand, finger, and other parts of the body, you begin to see that this can't happen unless there's some way to really repeal the optical laws of physics. Look at the back of your hand or your arm, for example, and you'll realize very quickly that there was absolutely no way that the images like they show you there of perfectly proportioned and flat numbers and other things could ever show, because the back of your hand and your arm, for instance, well, it's not flat. It's curved. It gets even worse when you see the attempts at side projection that they have claimed in their updates. Notice how distorted the images are as they float around with the camera. There's a very good reason for that, and this is the reason why most projectors that you see in theaters are always perpendicular to the screen. The closer image is going to be foreshortened. Farther away, as you see, it's elongated. They can't get around this without, doing something really drastic. But then again, they also have no way of compensating for the rifts and valleys, as I've talked about, in the surface of the projection screen, in this case, the back of this guy's hand. Now, earlier I had mentioned that these are not the only folks that have been chasing this kind of pipe dream for a long time. Two others are Secret and iCam. Both of them have been promising the same kinds of things that you see here. Secret has been trying it for a long time now, but frankly, this is nothing more than a science fiction fantasy. But after all, it is your money. Use it wisely. And be sure to wave at them when you visit these campaigns in crowdfunding hell.